Okay, so we're going to do problem number 2 from benchmark G.2.5. And the problem is Roderick works for JB Spas. He is installing a circular spa that will be enclosed by a square deck. The figure below illustrates the spa and the deck as shown from above. The radius of the spa is 3.25 feet. Part A, what will be the perimeter in feet of the deck? Part B, what will be the area of the deck, not including the spa? So before we start, I have listed some key terms to the left. Circular, square, radius, perimeter, and area. So these can be found in the actual problem. So first, let's just underline some key terms. The first term that we have here is circular spa. So we know for sure that we're dealing with a circle. And then second, it says enclosed by a square deck. So we know we're dealing with the shape of a square. Then it gives us some more information below. It says the radius of the spa is 3.25 feet. And we need to find two things. The first thing we need to find is perimeter, which was defined earlier in our notes. And the second thing we need to find is the area of the deck, which was also defined earlier in our notes. So let's start with part 1. Part 1 says we need to find the perimeter in feet of the deck. So remember, perimeter means that we're trying to find the distance around a polygon. So within this figure, we have the square as being our polygon. So first step, we're going to actually draw out our square. We'll label this part A. So we're going to draw out our square, and then we need to find the perimeter. So to find the perimeter of the square, we need to find the distance on the outside of each side that we have here. Right now, we don't have the distance on each side. What was given was the radius of the circle. So if we remember the definition of radius, radius is the distance from the center of a circle to one point on the circle. So since we have a point on the circle here, and this point is also on the square, we know that the distance from one point of the square to the center of the square is 3.25 feet. Now, radius is defined also as half of the diameter of a circle. So if we look here, we have from the center to one point of the circle. If we extend this line from one point here to the other side, we now have the diameter of the circle. So if this part is 3.25 feet, then we know that this side is also 3.25 feet. So if we have 3.25 here and 3.25 here, if we add that total distance up together, we have a total of 6.5 feet. So we know the distance from one end of the circle to the center, through the center to the other end of the circle is 6.5 feet. That also goes to tell us that the distance from one point of the polygon or square from one side to the other side is 6.5 feet as well. So if this is 6.5 feet, then I know that this side is 6.5 feet, this is 6.5 feet, and this as well is 6.5 feet. So now that we have the measurement of all of our sides, we can go ahead and calculate the perimeter. So we'll have P equals, since we have 4 sides to our square, we know that all of the sides are equal. I can just simply say 4 times 6.5. So if we're calculating the perimeter, we can use our calculator and put in 6.5 times 4, and that gives us 26. So we know that our perimeter is 26 feet in total. So that answers our part A. Part B states, what is the area of the deck not including the spa? So we're looking at our deck, and remember our deck is in the shape of a square, and our spa is in the shape of a circle. So this part of the problem, we're going to have 2 steps. So the first step, of course, is to find the area of the deck. So the deck, remember, is our square. And we have the dimensions of our deck. We know it's 6.5 by 6.5. So to find the area of our deck, what we can do is reference our reference sheet. So let's go to our reference sheet. where it says area, and we're going to find the area of our square. So if you look at the top left of our reference sheet, we have several formulas that we can choose from. So the first one says parallelogram. So if we remember what the definition of a parallelogram, it is a quadrilateral that has two pairs of parallel sides. So if we look at our square here, we have two pairs of parallel sides. So that falls under the formula for the area of a parallelogram. So we're going to use our A equals BH for our square. So we're going to write our formula out. A, and that's for square, area of a square, equals BH. So we're going to input our base, which is 6.5, and we're going to input our height, which is 6.5. Now we're going to go ahead and calculate that in our calculator. We have 6.5 times 6.5. And that gives us 42.25. So we have 42.25 feet squared is the area of our square. Now the second part to this problem is we have to find the area of the spa, because the question states what will be the area of the deck, not, very important, not including the spa. So in order to find the area of the deck not including the spa, we have to find the area of the spa first before we can move on. So we know our spa is in the shape of a circle, so we have to find the area of a circle. Now if you don't remember the area of a circle, you can quickly go to your reference sheet and reference it there. So under circle we have A equals pi r squared. So pi r squared is our formula for a circle. So we're going to go ahead and plug it in. So we have pi, we're going to approximate as 3.14. Remember our radius was 3.25. So we're going to plug that in. Squared. So we have 3.14 times 3.25 squared. 3.25 squared gives us 10.5625. So I'm going to leave all of the values until we multiply everything out. So we have 10.5625 multiplied by 3.14, and that gives us 33.16625. And that's feet squared. So I have the area of my square, which represented my deck, and that's the total area, which was 42.25. And I have the area of my spa, which was the shape of a circle, which is 33.16625. Now, you're probably saying, okay, we're done. However, we have to go back to what the question stated. The question stated, what is the area of the deck not including the spa? So if you see something like that where it includes not including something, then we know we have to do the operation of subtraction. So we're going to take the area of our spa. So we're going to label this, and that's total area of the deck. So that's total area of the deck. So we have to take the area of the total area of the deck, and then the total area of the circle, which was the spot, and then subtract the two. So we know our deck was 42.25 feet squared, and then we know our circle or spa was 33.16625. So we're going to subtract those two things. We have 42.25 subtracted from 33.16625. And that gives us a total of 9.08375 feet squared. Now, normally your question would ask you to round to the nearest whole, the nearest tenth, or nearest hundredth. So right now we're going to round to the nearest tenth. So remember, with rounding, we have to look at the number that comes before what we're rounding to. So if you look at our problem, we have 0 is in our 10th place. So looking at the number that is after 0 would be 8. So remember, when you're rounding, if you have 5 or more, you round up. If you have less than 5, you round down. So since 8 is 5 or more, we're going to round our 0 to the next number, which is 1. So our area would be equal to 9.1 feet squared, and that's including the area of the deck, not including the spa. And that would be our final answer.